All right, for those just tuning in, we're wrapping up our matchup with the Death Guard and the Grey Knights. Final score: Death Guard 90 to a Grey Knight 65. 0 for 2 with these new Grey Knights. 0 for 2 with them.
You told me to bring the Death Guard.
No, I did because
I want to test this competitive list.
Yes, because I do not want to. I want to take it on the chin.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, I don't want to go in here and you play something lighter, and then it's like, oh man, that did amazing. It's like, okay, but what about a real list? And especially with how popular vehicles are. Vehicles are in the meta, how strong Death Guard is in the meta. I need to be able to gauge that. And there is a lot of information I took away from this. Other than the fact that I hate blow drones. I mean, when those things hit, they hit.
Yeah, that's why I take 3. I mean, everybody who plays Death Guard takes 3. It's no secret. But they can be swinging with a number of shots, but when you have 3 of them that just pound into a target, maybe a roll 1 here on a number of shots or a 6 here, it's just going to even out in the long run. And getting the Lord of Virulence benefits just makes them super efficient. The strength 10 is super strong. The 36-inch range just means they can float out and shoot at something. So they're pretty good utility, and 100 points. Probably anticipate that going up in the next balance day of Slate.
Yeah, they check every box for what I don't want to see going into the Paladins. The strength 10, so you're wounding me on 2s. The flat 3 damage, so I'm not really recovering anything from that. And it just shredded my 5-man squad really quickly, which, I mean, granted, with a small lead army, I'm going to lose some stuff. That's going to happen. I'm aware of it. I think the biggest one that I could have, as we discussed it and we moved forward with it, probably the biggest play mistake was Grandmasters into Land Raider. I mean, it was just not, I was like, ooh, what if? And I kind of got stuck in a point. And with this codex and with things how are changed, one of the things that I have to keep in mind for myself is there was no reason for me to bring those Grandmasters down at all. Because I picked them up off the table, they didn't start in strategic reserve, so they can sit. They don't have to come in turn 3. So when you still had vehicles off board, now we talk about something else. What is that Land Raider really doing for you? Versus what are those bloat drones and the Prophetic Blight Haulers? Not so much the Blight Haulers. Blight haulers are mean, and I hate when they get close and they get that melt up. Obviously, that's what they do. But the bloat drones were the biggest impact. If the bloat drones go down, now my Paladins, even that one squad, can start running around the table, teleporting around and doing more stuff. So I definitely feel like that I should have held them back, forced you to put all your stuff on the table, and then gone, okay, now where can these Grandmasters play from? That was a big play mistake on my part, trying to go after the Land Raider. Also, I could have gone anti-chaos 4 up on it, but it wouldn't really mattered in that sense. It just really came down to the fact of why DJY? Where are you going to try to go after this? It's always why GWY. This one was why DJY. That was a bad play on that. Still kind of learning all the aspects and when to do these things, know when to hold them, know when to roll them, all that jazz. That was not the time. At least that's how I feel with it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact it's the only thing in my army is toughness 12. The shooting profiles from the Grandmaster and Dread Knight, they would have been so much better into the other vehicles.
Yeah.
At only T9, and you're wounding on 3s with your cannons and wounding on 4s with the twin linked on the
twin linked
Sublime Tater. Yeah. So it's just a matter of target priorities, and definitely they can wreck a strong vehicle, but once they get into combat, and they did not get to swing.
No,
I did not let them swing. So
no. The one thing that I'm kind of questionable on, and I'm back and forth yet, and I'll have to see. I think I kind of want to leave this list alone and run it a second time in the Banishers attachment. I kind of want to, like, when you jump around lists too much, which is one thing, obviously, with us creating content and making different battle reports and stuff like that, we tend to bounce around with some lists a couple of times. And sometimes you start to lose that focus. I feel like this list, I'm on the right track. There's the only thing that I'm kind of questioning right now is the Grandmaster and the Librarian and their place. I could drop the Grandmaster entirely, lead the unit with the Librarian. I'd lose the side cannon, but then I'd gain the Vortex. And then I could go, instead of doing the reroll 1s to hit shooting, which did not play a factor at all. So that enhancement did not play a factor at all in this matchup. I could go the +1 AP, and then we have those side cannons and still have the Vortex at AP2 and AP3 respectively. So there's that question there. But initially with it, like, again, now we go back over into, yes, there are a lot of things that have 3 damage that are in the game. There are. But with how that played out, I don't necessarily know that that's going to play out that way every single time. Where that 5-man Paladin squad, I did roll really, really, really bad on my saves over there, and they just fell apart.
Yeah, they didn't like it.
So, a couple little bit better on the saves. The Apothecary lives, Librarian and the Apothecary bounce out of there. Then I get another dude back. May not be so bad. So I kind of feel initially like I want to leave the list alone. The only thing I'm questioning right now, and this kind of goes into that tweaking it a little bit column, is that enhancement on the Grandmaster was worthless, honestly. The reroll 1s to hit and shooting didn't do anything for me. But again, this matchup. So I kind of think I need to get another rep in with this list. I think that this is much better than what I was running before. Because again, like, suddenly late game, look what happened. Granted, one thing was a challenger card giving me an extra D6 on my move. I mean, to making Terminator suddenly have a 12-inch move on an advance, too.
Yeah.
But we got a 12-inch move on that advance. We moved 12. I could easily throw a 5 on that advance and still spend 1 CP to go advance and charge, which is something this detachment offers that not a lot of detachments have. I mean, it's kind of something that GW's kind of pulled away of a lot of armies.
Yeah, well, I've always said when we play Grey Knights, that's the issue, that with all the uppy downies, when you're deep striking, if your opponent gets onto the objectives, and that's what I did, I pushed out on the objectives early in the game, you can't uppy downy onto the objectives. So having something with an advance and charge is kind of nice, because that gives you the ability to move out and take an objective without having to deep strike onto it and make a 9-inch charge.
Part of me also thinks about dropping that other 5-man squad of Purifier, or just take another 5-man squad of Interceptors. I mean, it's like every time they just gold. Like, not even the fact of him living, but it's just the fact that they got there. And it just, in some ways, feels like it. It's tough to say, because he went where he was safe. There was nowhere else that was really safe to go. So that was kind of a tough thing with it. There was really no other safe place to play from. So I think it comes down to some reps, that I just need to get some reps. But that's it for me on the Grey Knight side of things. I was happy with the general overall performance. Losing 400, nearly 500 points on the Grandmasters was a bad time, especially considering the fact that the reason I lost them was because I played them wrong. I could have held them back and made you do things. So Death Guard. This is the list you ran at the GT.
Yeah, it's good. I've had a lot of practice. I probably had 20 games with this list now.
This is true, too. So I'm running into Lane, who's got this list kind of dialed in as well,
I think other people run Mortarian's Hammer with Plague Burst Crawlers, just because of all the ways you can get the full rerolls from Lord of Virulence and put things into Contagion without being close to them and that sort of thing. I don't think the Land Raider is particularly meta in Death Guard, but it's fun. I like playing it. It's fun, and it definitely does some work. And it gives me that on the board movement, so I can move out and take things. And the fact that it can go through walls, even if I'm not going through walls to do damage, just going through to get on objectives is handy, because it is only a 10-inch move. So I mean, the Death Guard stuff is good. The Death Strat are good. The Bloat Drones are good. The Blight Haulers are good. The Poxwalkers are good. The Spawn, I don't know, he's hilarious. It's all good stuff. And it all does what you want it to do. The Bloat Drones shoot from a long distance. The Blight Haulers get +1 to hit and +1 to wound in vehicles, and with the toughness debuff. When they were shooting at the Nemesis Dread Knights, they're hitting on 2s and wounding on 2s. It's pretty strong. So it's all good stuff. And I think just the list, it all works well together, where each thing does, there's essentially, like I said, 4 different components that go out and kill something. I didn't get to do it all in turn 2, but I went out and killed a few things. So,
yeah. So next week, how long are we until we see some Votann?
Well, I'll have the Codex next week. I'm not going to have all the new models built yet. I am getting the new models, so it's going to take me, I don't know how long to build them. I don't think the kits aren't that involved, so I can probably talk about the Codex next week once I've had a chance to look at it, but it'll probably be another week or so Because if I'm going to do the new codex, I'm going to use the new units. So
Yeah, there's not really. Well, I mean, there's probably going to be some detachments that are not going to require new units. So there might be something there. I mean, for me, I'm running all the Grey Knight new units.
Okay, cool. You got your new units, your new sprue.
Yeah, they haven't even got yet. Which we're still waiting to see. Is it going to be an actual kit, or are they just going to release the sprue? For me, I don't even really care. I'll probably just convert up if I like it some more. But like I said, the one thing I want to mess with a bit, I might look at taking that 5-man paladin out, see what else I can do with it. I could drop down to just having a 4-man Terminator being led by a librarian, or in some scenarios with what the librarian did this game, just run the librarian by himself. I mean, he didn't do too bad with it. Could slap him with a 4-man squad of Terminators to give him in that squad.
How many points is he?
80.
Yeah.
But he also has the enhancement on him, which I could swap that around. I mean, nickels and dimes on that stuff. That enhancements and all that stuff, we'll worry about that later. But I mean, I could slap him onto a 4-man squad of Terminators, just regular Terminators. And because of the ancients with them, now that squad is OC 3 per guy. So you got an OC 12 little pocket unit. But at the same time, it's like how much. I mean, I got 3 squads that are already that kind of pocket unit: the interceptors, the purifiers, and the strike. That's their job of what to do. So do I need that, or having that punch? And that's kind of where I like the paladins, the 5-man paladin, because they could punch. Just, are they going to survive? And it's just a lot of questions, a lot of wonder, what ifs. And the only thing that's going to really help is getting some reps. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get some more games with this and try and mess around with this a little bit more. But as far as next week, I think I'll be going back over. I'm shifting back and forth between Grey Knights and Necrons right now, just because I'm working on a lot of the Necrons. The Necrons, I can go and play a meta build, win games, yippee. There's no real fun there. So with Necrons, I'm trying to find those hidden gems, and we've been messing with the Ghost Arcs. That's one thing I'm messing with. And that's where we're going to be going back to. I'm not sure if I'm going to settle on 4 or 5 Ghost Arcs yet. We're kind of in that realm. I might try 4 Ghost Arcs. I love that Score Pack lore coming out of the Ghost Arc combo. And I think Lane's best friend needs to come hang out again.
No thanks.
Big old Illuminators there.
No thanks.
So let me know what you guys think, though. I'm definitely messing with this. I want to see. I feel like there's a 50-50 part of me. And this is kind of a question that I'm wondering, because I've looked at some tournament results. And I see a lot of people running the Banisher detachment. And I don't see a lot of success coming from it. Not like I see wins, but not major GT wins. Maybe there are, and I just haven't seen them. But I'm not seeing it. So are we wrong? Is Banishers maybe not the route to go? And there's other detachments. I know Warpbane looks amazing. So, and I'm looking forward to going back in and tagging into Warpbane here very, very soon.
Yeah, 30 purifiers and Warpbane is going to do something. It's going to kill something.
Oh, yeah, especially after what we saw with Crow today. But we won't have that same stats. But, yeah, I mean, having full rerolls to wound, that's violent. That's going to be some violence there. And then the rerolls to hit, too. So there's a lot of violence that can come off of that. And then when we talking about Dread Knights, being able to land within 6 of them and other things. The one thing that sucks is the 6-inch deep strike strat to charge off of is relegated to Grey Knight infantry that is not Terminators. So no Paladins off that, but I do like the 30 Purifier style of it that we were running before. A lot of people ask why I don't run Razorbacks. I don't like to spread those points out into it. Yeah, you get +1 AP when you disembark from a Razorback and shoot at the target the Razorback shot at. But then it's a 5-man squad. How much really are you going to get off that? If we saw it today, it's still, the Grey Knights still struggle with the shooting aspect of this game. So this is looking more and more like it's going to be a very finesse combat army. It's a matter of figuring out how to get those things in locations to make it happen. And unless vehicle detachment looks very, very violent too, as we were talking about. Which when I run the vehicle detachment, I want to run first. We'll go into something a little bit softer. So, hey, maybe that might be the case. Maybe we will go back on Grey Knights. Lane can run something else a little bit softer, and I'll bring this. It's not really too wacky, but it's kind of aggressive. It's an aggressive vehicle build.
It doesn't have that many data sheets in it.
No, it doesn't. But I'll tell you what it does have. 2 Storm Ravens. So let us know. You want to see 2 Storm Ravens next week? We'll bring it. All right, guys. Lane, you got anything to close with?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.